Mauritius is just a dot on most maps, situated in the southwest of the Indian Ocean and on the Tropic of Capricorn. The Arab seamen discovered this Garden of Eden in 975 AD. The next visitors were the Portuguese. It was also used at times as a base for pirates. They were followed by Dutch, then by French, and finally the British, to independence in 1968. Sugar cane grows well in almost all parts of the island and was the basis of the economy. Slavery was a scourge, employed by the British and abolished in 1835, and labourers from India were drafted in, but still little more than slaves. Only a few of the plantation houses now remain, to give a glimpse of what life was like for the ruling classes, elegant and cool, closeted in their own world of luxury. Flowers are everywhere, lighting up the houses with the colourful blooms, the air perfumed by strange plants, many brought in by the British settlers, others definitely tropical. Sugar is now exported, and the remainder goes to rum production. The various processes were explained, and it was only polite to taste the rum. Flavours and strengths were sampled, voices grew louder as the level on the bottles went down, but it was delicious. In the village of Chamarel is found a landscape with layers of coloured volcanic earth, 7 distinct colours of sand that remarkably never get mixed together, where nothing ever grows. At the Biscuiture Rolt factory, the Cynique family have been producing the unique manioc biscuits since 1870. Now the 4th generation bake in the traditional way. The biscuits were tasted, and it was agreed that they were an acquired taste. The Lake of Grand Bassin is the site of Lord Shiva's temple and is a sacred site for Hindus who believe that the lake's waters come direct over the ocean from the Ganges in India. The temple has many elaborate carvings with vivid colours, generally pink. Inside are rooms with altars to various deities. Joss sticks perfume the air, while outside is just mayhem, with monkeys, prayer gongs and crowds of travellers, with Hindus on a religious experience. The first national park here on Mauritius is the Black River Gorge, opened in 1994. It is a breathtakingly steep-sided gorge and wooded area with mainly ebony trees, the last on the island. On the high plateau was found to be good tea growing country, over 1,000 metres. Bois Cherie is the centre of the industry, where the tea is brought in from the outlying areas. Basically, it is chopped, dried and processed. Flavourings are also added, then graded before an erratic wrapper comes into play, the only modern machine in the tea production. A museum is attached where all machinery is displayed. Most of it came from Britain, with a dozen makers' nameplates who sent their wares so far from home. Tea is not grown in large enough quantities for export, but it is blended into fine-tasting brew for domestic use only. The oddly named Pamplemousse Royal Botanical Gardens was originally a vegetable garden supplying food to passing ships. French horticulturist Pierre Pavou, the original Peter Pepper, transformed the gardens in 1768 when he began to import trees and flowers from around the world. James Duncan, the British horticulturalist, carried on the work from 1849. One of the main attractions is the Victoria Amazonian water lily, with leaves up to 3 metres in diameter. Unfortunately, snails are decimating the leaves. Ginger and sandalwood scent the air as the trees sway in the warm, balmy breeze. For botanists, a paradise. In the excellent Sugar Museum at Beauplan, housed in the old sugar plant, lies all the old machinery that was superseded by the new modern. Most of the equipment came from Britain, as did the old steam beam engines marked from Scotland in 1860. 2 narrow-gauge locomotives came from Berlin to service the plant and to get the sugar to Port Louis for shipment. This trade was vitally important to the Mauritian economy. Now tourism wears that mantle. 400 years ago, the region of La Vallée de Ferney was the starting place of human development in Mauritius. Today it shelters one of the last nature sanctuaries in the island. It provides a safe haven to a great variety of indigenous species, many of which are rare or threatened. La Vallée de Ferney is not only a reference among ecotourism sites, but projects to restore the flora and fauna of Mauritius are being conducted. To explore de Ferney means more than just a ramble. It provides an unforgettable experience in a unique place. Birds are plentiful, but not too many species. The red fody to add a splash of colour, the bulbul with his cockade, and the noisy myna bird sent in to eat locusts. All of the invaders who occupied this land left their mark, not least the tourists who arrived in their thousands to stay at the 5- and 6-star hotels which fringe the sugar-soft beaches. Water sports are to the fore, snorkelling and diving off the coral reefs that almost ring the island. Sailing ships of old often came to grief here. With the lagoons, swimming pools, palm trees and a moderate climate, it is truly enchanting. Most tourists don't venture far from their gated hotels. They miss a great deal on this island.